Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to have a bit of a play with wool. We're going to do a little test first to see if this works. We're just going to go small. And that is, I've seen people try soaking wool in glue and wrapping it around a balloon and popping the balloon, and it's meant to stay balloon shaped. Everyone that I've seen try this has ended up with a deformed, shrunk in wool mess because it's stuck to the balloon and just gone straight in on itself. So I have suggested in the past to mix their glue with corn flour or, something starchy to make it a little bit more solid. And they've had a bit more success. Slight deformities, but nothing major. So I'm going to just try wrapping this in cling film, taping it up on the underside so it stays in place, wrapping wool around this because it's nice and small, it's not a big balloon, it's not a big bowl or anything, and seeing if it works on a smaller scale with just neat PVA glue. Not going to water it down or nothing, just keeping it neat. If that doesn't work, I've got another theory in mind. I know wood glue, which is it's water resistant, it's resin based more often than not, does dry really hard. So I might get some of that when I next go shopping. So if this fails, we can try that. See if you can do it with just straight up glue without mixing it with anything. So that's going to be the plan for today. And if this works, what I think will look really cool is having a little tea light, a not flammable tea light, an electric tea light. Let's not set homes on fire now. I reckon that'll be quite cool. But let's find out if we can get it to work first. So I have some lovely cling film here, which I'm going to try and get out of the box in one and try and put it just straight on in one piece. You might not even have to tape that in place, I think that's going to be okay. So we don't need you after all. And you can go over there so you don't get covered in glue because I'm about to get messy. Now, what I think I'm going to do is cut a piece off to work with to begin with. We'll get several bits cut ready. Let's pop those right over there because I don't want those to get covered in glue. So I would recommend putting gloves on to do this, but I like getting my hands messy, so I'm going in bare-skinned. And I'm hoping by popping it in this way, it won't get too tangled, so it'll be easier to get out. Now I want as little extra glue kicking around the place as possible, so I'm going to get as much excess off my fingers as possible because I don't want there to be little webbing pieces in between. I want it to just be the wool. So I'm going to do this in portions. I'm going to pick a point to start. I think I will have more than enough wool here, to be honest. I'm giving it a good old squeeze as I'm going. Now it feels well sticky. I'm going to go right down to the bottom. This board is also covered in cling film, in case you wondered, in case you couldn't see. I will give it all a bit of a squeeze when I'm done, just to push all the wool on top of itself. You know, a squeeze like that. Now there is going to be a slight webbing, but if we can get rid of that with scissors or a craft knife come the end, then I'll consider this a success. So I want it to be a bit right around the bottom because I want it to be able to stand flat. Right, before I get tempted with squeezing that, I'm going to put this one in. I'll give it a squeeze when everything is in there together. And same again. Try and get a fair bit off my fingers before I start this. Right. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to get cleaned up. Okay, we're back with the originally glue-soaked wool. Now, I can't imagine for 1 second watering the glue down is going to have any impact. I will tell you now, it does not work. Glue soaked in wool, wrapped around anything, be it a balloon, a cup, whatever, it doesn't dry hard enough to maintain its shape. So what I did was something that I do know, so I haven't got any wood glue just yet to try that. I will do in another video. We are going to try other cheaper options, because what I did do was I totally plastered this in varnish. And that has dried quite firm. So let's just see what we got if we slip it out of this, because glue soaked in varnish is going to be somewhat more tricky to do. Well, at least you can do it wearing gloves. Now, can we get this out? So it hasn't stuck, but it's quite firm, so it doesn't want to slip all too easily. I know if I pull on the cling film is just going to tear. We've got a little give. Okay, so that's come out. The cling film is coming away. Now I can feel on the inside where the varnish wouldn't have quite penetrated, that the wool isn't as hard as it is on the outside. But at least we do know the cling film comes away absolutely fine. Now, that's not a bad result. I think it's firm enough to hold up, and I was concerned there might be a little cling film here or there. I was concerned that the varnish would seal all the gaps, you know, because I put it on quite liberally. Can I get that little bit? I think I got it. It's drunk that way up. But the original idea of putting this together was, would it look nice with a little electric tea light inside it? And actually it does. I'll get my phone up on that. That does actually look quite nice in there. I think it'll look better at night, obviously. I think that'd be quite nice with a little simple base. Some way of easily putting that in and out of there. That will look quite nice on your mantelpiece at night. It's a bit drunk. It's a bit deformed. And you can see it's got give in it, but it does go back to its original shape. I'm not going to squish it too hard, so I'll press my luck. So the varnish works. That's pretty cool, actually. It does sort of... So we're going to come back to this another day. And with gloves on, because there's no way I'm manhandling varnish without gloves on. PVA glue will wash off your hands nicely. Varnish will not. So I think we'll come back to that another day. We will try... We'll do 2 on that day. We will try wood glue. Like I say, I know that has a bit of a resin nature to it through using it in the past with other projects, and it dries really nice and hard. And varnish outright. We'll scrap the PVA glue for now because that just is not working. I was quite sure it wouldn't work because I've seen loads of people try this with people I've worked with and so on and so forth. We might even do 3. We might try mixing corn flour with some PVA glue to see if that will give it a bit more of a solid finish. But yeah, I could tell the top had dried when I checked it before I decided to just go rogue and go varnish. And I could tell then, like, it just felt like slightly stiff wool. It didn't feel like it had any give in it whatsoever. My girl's being a funny bum. She can't walk past my stool all of a sudden, bless her. And the varnish does dry enough for it to still look like wool, so it doesn't look like it's just, you know, coloured strands. It still has a wool texture to it in appearance. Obviously it feels... I think you can hear that. So yeah, PVA glue is a fail. Varnish, I'm going to say, is a win. And next time we try this, I will try, as long as I remember, definitely the 2, the varnish and the wood glue. And if I remember, we'll try doing a 3rd one with PVA glue mixed with corn flour. So yeah, if you see all those, what is it, Pinterests? Where it's like, oh, or like those, what are they, like, you know, 5-minute crafts or art hacks, where it's just soak the glue in, soak the wool in the glue, wrap it around a balloon, pop the balloon, and suddenly you'll have this beautiful sphere. No, you won't. You won't. It crumples in on itself. It starts out like that, and then as the balloon shrinks, it pulls. the PVA glue soaked wool in on itself, and you get some, if you want a knobbly bobbly sphere, then by all means do that. Then dependent, to take this even further, so I know people do quite like the look of that project, we will, after our next session of tests, try a balloon. With whatever ones work best, we will take those to the balloon, and I think we will probably have to also look at covering the balloon in something. So I think some of these will come away from the balloon fine, but I think others will just stick and shrink in on themselves. So that's future experiments, and then hopefully we can fine tune it to a point where it's an achievable, easy as possible craft for someone to have a go at home. So that being said, thank you all so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've taken something away from this, and I hope I save you some hassle when you're trying to do these crafts that look really nice and they're made out to be really simple, but they aren't always what they seem. This is just a quick stoppy by to see how this looks at night when all the lights are off. Oh, how cool is that? Oh, that looks so cool. It's so inviting. That is beautiful. Let's get this one up here. I'll leave it with the light off. How cool does that look? That is so mesmerizing. Oh wow. Well, I'm definitely going to be making more of these, like I said, for experiment purposes. As well as just, so these would be cool to just turn it around so we can see all. I like that you can like completely peek in at certain points. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, imagine having a number of those lined up on a shelf. All the lights out and nothing but the beautiful glow. Sorry, I drifted off then. Nothing but the beautiful glow of those flickering electric tea lights. Oh, that is so cool. I think we'll do the end of this one with the lights out. I'll bring that up. How cool is that? We'll leave it down here. There's a few days have passed since I since I managed to time this for night. So I can't remember whether I said my end bit or not, so I'm going to say it again. Thank you all so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out. I'm a bit whisper because it's actually night time and most of the house is asleep right now. Yeah, worth doing if you varnish it. But we are going to do some experiments. I'm not going to mention all those again. I know I mentioned those already. And like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care. Have a good night. And see you in the next one.